Another one of those, should we remember this question? You don't need to know the numbers. Numbers like this wavelength. You don't need to memorize these numbers. You don't. But it's good to know that blue light has high energy and a small lambda compared to the red light, whereas red light compared to blue will have a low energy and a larger lambda. So again, trends, not the numbers. And then note how these spacings arrange, in which direction the spacing, the size of the spacing increase or decrease. In this direction, from left to right, you can see that the wavelength is decreasing. Sorry, the wavelength is increasing, energy is decreasing. And you can see with respect to that what the spacing is like. In the direction that wavelength lambda increase, the spacing also increase. And also you should be able to draw, if the line spectra is given like that, you should be able to draw the electron transition if the energy is indicated in this axis. And also you should be able to know how this relative spacing goes. This is n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And by looking at this, you can see colors. If you see colors, it belongs into the visible region. And what kind of transition result in this visible light? Transitions from any level to n equals 1 will result in UV light. Transitioning from upper level to level 1, n equals 1, will not give you visible light. So those things you need to know. So these transitions are going to be from an upper level to the level 2. And then you should be able to relate these transitions to the lines. Also, you need to know the names of the series like Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brevet font. And what kind of radiation that will emit. Let's take a couple of questions and see the nature of the questions that is being asked from these concepts. This is a true or false type question. The spacing between two adjacent lines in a given series of the atomic spectrum of hydrogen decreases gradually in the direction of decreasing wavelength. True or false? You saw in the hydrogen line spectra, when your lambda is going to increase in this direction, the lines, the spacing between lines is going to increase. So when lambda increase, the spacing increase, but in the statement it's asking in the decreasing direction. So the space decreases as the wavelength decrease. So this statement is true. it doesn't always have to be the wavelength, the relationship between wavelength and energy. So in the direction that wavelength increase, you have to know that energy decrease. So they can test these concepts through different words. The next question is from 2022, held in 2023 exam. I may have worded it a little bit differently. From following electron transitions, which transition belongs to visible region of hydrogen line spectrum? So you can see the question test if you know which transition result in visible region, emit radiation in visible region. You get that if you have the transition from a higher level to n equals 2. So you have two options that shows transitions to 2, but only option 2 shows a transition from higher level to 2. So every time you have a doubt whether you should memorize this or not, whether you should try to remember the things or not, you can easily find the answer if you go through the previous exam questions.